Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hello and welcome to the Dork Forest. It's Jackie Kashian. You know the websites, JackieKashian.com, dorkforest.com. That's where you can get all of the information. You can listen to the show, you can buy merch, you can donate to the show, and everyone should. They should give me $100 a year, or whatever you have. If you don't have a lot of money, you'll be happy to know that we have a sponsor this month. Yes, the month of June is sponsored by TiVo. And TiVo can do it all the time as far as I'm concerned, because I'm kind of excited. They're getting me a TiVo. Yeah, it's the best DVR in the world. It's the first DVR in the world as far as I can tell. TiVo.com, by the way, you get $25 off if you use the promo code ATC, which stands for All Things Comedy, which is the umbrella the Dork Forest is under. But here's the thing. You know about TiVo. TiVo records television, right? But did you know that TiVo Stream, you can transfer your favorite show or whatever to a device, an iPad, a whatnot. And this is what's exciting to me. Two things. First of all, 300 hours of recording. Yeah, I'm excited. It's not just 60 hours like regular. It's up to 300 hours. And it's not just the channels you get, which is good because I don't have cable. And the TiVo they're sending me goes with my HD antenna. But I can do things, which is also on the web. So I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Amazon. But you could also use YouTube, Pandora, Spotify as just channels and record them. And you could record up to 4 shows at once. And of course, it still does that recommend thing where you like this, you might like this other thing, you know, like Patton's joke, which will still be linked in the notes as long as TiVo has it. I'm going to link Patton Oswalt's joke on Conan. Is it about minute 3? Anyway, so welcome to the Dork Forest. Welcome TiVo. And anybody else who wants to advertise, that's what an ad sounds like. I'll probably get better at it as we go. Let's get into the show. Yay, it's the Dork Forest! Hello, Bloomington, Indiana. My name is Jackie Kashian. These are each of your microphones. And we are at the Limestone Fest here at the Comedy Attic. Let's have a round of applause for Bloomington, Indiana, the Limestone Fest. Yay. The Comedy Attic. Oh, good things are happening. Aaron's working the audio back there. That's a good guy, right? And, yay, Aaron. Patrick's gonna fix the audio, as we know. Mike Rickberg, Sarah Cohen just sang that song. Nobody's gonna sing at the end. And then, we're just gonna be happy. But at the end of the recorded episode on dorkforest.com, you can hear, Mike Rickberg sing the Mexican hat dance. Anyway, go to dorkforest.com, JackieKashian.com, and those are the basic announcements. And let's get right to it. Here we are in a live episode. Things are being risen. It's spooky. Sitting to my left, Dayna Thompson, friend of the people. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Dayna Thompson. She may have served you drinks. She's part owner of this establishment. And I'm very excited to tell you, she's a bit of a Sasquatch dork. Oh, yeah. Next, former friend of the show, and current... Former friend.
It was kind of a bad falling out.
It is too bad that we no longer get along. Al Jackson, hip-hop dork from the previous episode.
Definitely.
And finally, longtime friend of the show, comedy film nerds aficionado, Mr. Graham Elwood.
Hello! What's up?
Comedy film nerds, Al Jackson. Okay, welcome to the program. I don't know. Let's talk about something. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I know a lot of people know what they're doing. The Dork Forest is not like that. It's a safe space. Mostly for me. So Dayna, what is it about the Bigfoot that you enjoy? Okay, all right. No pressure. All good.
I don't know if I would say enjoy is the word, maybe, but
are you scared?
No, I'm just really interested. I'm really interested in finding out what is really true here.
And you think that the Sasquatch might be true?
There's no might in that sentence, Jackie. I think the Sasquatch is a fact.
The Sasquatch is a fact.
Buckle up.
Come on, Jackie.
That's it. Here's my question. Where does the Sasquatch live? Does Graham know? No.
Oh.
Does he need a bev? Do you need a beverage?
If I could get a bottle of water.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have waters all around. Let's,
Not working right now.
voice-
Can I have vodka in my water, please?
Al's real willing to start the. All right, so
He's a vodka dork.
I had Wyatt Cenac on. He was a bit of a bourbon dork.
Yes, he is.
And I put 3 in front of him, and then some sort of bug landed in one of them, and he was like, "I'm not drinking that one. Was it the good one?" And because I did him a taste test, there was here we go, good times.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was going to do
Thanks,
some sort
Spencer.
of bourbon 3-card Monty or something like that.
Yeah, you could pass those back because he's coming around this side now. The bottles of water.
That was a lot of
You
effort
want to hand these
expended.
out in a more complicated fashion?
If somebody came down and descended from the ceiling with water, I think that would have.
That's it.
Was she like, is that your water, sir?
What's this behind your ear, young man? All right.
What? My ears are hydrated.
See, because we have choices here. I mean, when I do a dork panel, it's always weird. It's always an interesting because we could talk Dirty Harry movies, right? We could talk.
Yes, we could.
See, because that's.
You mean Graham?
We mean Graham could talk about it. Well, you could weigh in. And the thing is this is the only time when other people get to sort of go to question a dorkdom. And now you believe in something spooky, right? You believe in something that is not provable.
Yes, Dirty Harry is terrifying. Oh, you're talking to Dayna. I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Well, we don't know if the Sasquatch is spooky. Have you ever seen one, Jack?
I've seen some blurry photos. Pardon?
Why is there somebody screaming?
What's the difference between them? Or who wins? Oh,
Wow.
well.
Sasquatch,
I don't know,
neck
does
breaker.
Sasquatch have a goddamn Kevlar vest?
How do we know?
He's about to
How
take
do
a
we
couple
know?
big rounds from the most powerful handgun on the planet. Question Bigfoot needs to ask himself is, did he shoot 5 or 6? And I tell you what, in all this commotion out here outside of Seattle, that's where Sasquatch lives, by the way. I lost track.
I think they're probably more in the Asian areas, which is the question you answered me or asked me.
Wait, there are
about 45
Asian
minutes ago.
areas and there are lots and lots of Sasquatches?
Yes,
In the Asian
believe
areas of
so.
America or the Asian areas of the world?
of Asia.
Yes, in Chinatown in San Francisco, there is a giant
quite noticeable
Sasquatch.
there.
It's underneath the Trans-American building.
Who saw a bird on a wire, right? There was a Chinatown in Racine, Wisconsin. That actually doesn't exist in reality because there are like 3 Chinese people and they live in fear. So you say that Sasquatches, Bigfoots, what else are they called? Sasquatches, Bigfoots. They mostly live, because I thought that they did live outside of San Francisco in Chinatown. I don't know where I don't know where I thought they
there are
lived.
Like
large
this will get a congressman
concentration of
fired saying stuff like this. Like just they're in the Asian areas.
Sasquatches.
I never go there.
We didn't say that.
Sasquatch
Their
is
press secretary is like, kill it, kill it. I'm sorry.
Sasquatch is a Chinaman. Can I say that? Is that appropriate?
Let's not refer to them as Orientals.
I'm
because those
set
are
up
rocks. That's all we're waiting on, right? Someone to say Orientals.
Am I going to get beaten up on the dork?
There's no. Dork.
Yes.
No, it's very nice. Just
I wanna
follow
hear
the
you say,
sound.
I misspoke on the Dork Forest. I did not mean that all Asians are Sasquatches. I am currently going under some safety training, learning that words hurt.
Sensitivity training. It's Sasquatches. 6 feet tall? How tall is a Sasquatch?
Wow. Is a smaller foot? A medium-sized foot?
A 10.5? What are we talking about? What does he wear?
I'm going in general about the 10-foot range.
10 foot Sasquatches occurring naturally in nature, shuffling around.
Yes.
And because they always shuffle, right?
Well, they have big feet.
They have.
That's why they're called.
Like a shovel, like...
Podcasting is a visual
Super
medium.
inefficient
So I'm
way to
really
travel.
glad.
Jackie,
crowd
I
has no
always
idea.
give them a little something for the live audience. They get a little special
That's
taste.
right. That's right. Graham Elwood doing a little soft shoe. So
Racial slur 4, I think.
soft shoe is a real thing. That's a real dance step, is it not? I look to the
I
black
thought that
man.
was a slang
I
against
think
like
the
a
congresswoman should answer.
We all looked at
The congresswoman from Indiana, Martinsdale, or wherever the KKK is. What is that?
Martinsville.
Martinsville.
Oh, it's a Ville.
Which my family, I've shot my first shotgun. There's a local comic in Indy. My in-laws are from Indianapolis, and I went to Martinsville to shoot guns with him. Like, he literally just went and picked up a 30-pack of PBR, and I was like, are we going to drink these? Because I'm fine with that. But he took them to his cabin, and he just threw them up in the air and shot them. And
that's a waste of good beer. What's happening there?
It took me a second. Like, I was in Martinsville. I told my wife, like, I went and shot guns, and she was like, why did you go? Like, I guess that's like where the KKK has their dork forest.
Right.
That is what they do.
I've had racists want to be on the show, and that is not a dorkdom. Racism is not a dorkdom. Just because you wear a hat doesn't make it a dorkdom. Just because you think you're LARPing. That is not a role-playing moment.
We're doing another Doc Owl LARP. Don't you guys? What? Can I?
It's not right.
Someone just went, oh no, wrong.
There's an opportunity here. So you shot gun, was that for the first time you shot guns?
First time ever. Like,
aren't guns great?
Yeah, it was I shot a deer, what do you call it? A deer rifle that just holds the one slug. It is like, you have to do that once in your life as a man. Like, it's that gun that, like, you can go through the chassis of a semi, like, it's just for one shot, one kill.
30-06?
I have no idea. Do you shoot guns?
I just shot shotguns. Andy's father passed away. They put him in shotgun shells, and we shot him into the sky.
Are you serious?
Hello and welcome to Arkansas, ladies and
That
gentlemen.
is the greatest way.
Yeah,
I think everybody's like, you can do that when you're there?
Yeah.
I thought you had to go to a boring funeral.
Changing my will right now.
How much does that cost?
About $200, I think. So they got him. Yeah. They cremated him. He was a bird dog guy. He trained bird dogs for field trials, and he was a bird hunter. And so they put some of his ashes. They kept it on the mantle or whatever the fuck you do with ashes. And then some of the ashes they put in shotgun shells, and they shot him into the sky. And his only request was that there would be no religious people at his funeral. He said, if there's any sort of preacher or anybody at my funeral, I will come back and haunt you all like a Sasquatch. Huh? Full circle, back to Sasquatch.
I just like that there was some bird flying like, all right, that old man's gone. He can't get me now. And that
Yeah.
last shotgun with his
Took him out.
ashes
Yeah, because there were
tearing through them.
Yeah, they put, because sometimes they just put the ashes in and then you just shoot the ashes off, but they put BBs in it too. They put shot, I believe it's called, in a shotgun.
It's like a bullet casserole.
It's a bullet casserole.
That's a lot of.
That's exactly correct.
I think there's some paprika in there.
Yeah, there's different size casserole.
Go cumin,
Crusette.
not too much though.
Little coriander seeds. It was beautiful.
I now want to murder somebody with my ashes. And I want to say that publicly.
That was my Make-A-Wish. That was
To kill somebody.
Yeah, I want to take someone with me. That was my wish. If I'm ever allowed to have a wish for Make-A-Wish, I want to take a healthy child with me.
Al Jackson will shoot you. Al Jackson can shoot you through a can of PBR.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we'll do it.
Sold.
So, I'm sorry, I digressed briefly into guns.
That's a job of somebody that cremates somebody and puts them in bullets. Is that a real job, or did
Well,
work at
so
the-
I think it's just a website. I think it's. I don't think
have
it's
to go to school for that in Arkansas.
I have a website.
a
There's.
friend or
Oh no! I think they sent away.
pro.
You send away. You say it could be your. I mean, who knows if it's actually his ashes? I mean, you don't. I mean, that's the thing about ashes. Once they make your ashes, they could hand you 5 pounds of someone else's ashes, and what are you going to do? I mean, it's not like anyone's living in NCIS, and you could check the DNA.
That sounds like an
and-
investigative doc. Like ABC would send its correspondent to have it tested. Like, is this just cigarette butt dust? Or is this your Uncle Jerry? We're gonna...
Exactly.
What you need to know about cigarette dust.
There should
Yeah.
have been more to that riff. That was my fault.
No,
You all wanted more from that riff, and I just.
If you
went,
want to bring it back, just do the shuffle that the Sasquatch does. Everybody's like, just stop talking and do the shuffle. We loved it.
it's everyone loves. Do you tap at all, Graham? Can you do a tap dance? Did you take dance?
Challenge!
You sang earlier today at the Doug Benson movie Dealy Bob, and that was lovely.
Thank you.
All right.
I love how Doug. We're so like Abbott and Costello. He asks me to do it. Like, Graham, you didn't get a chance to sing Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive. And then I jump up and do it, and he acts all like, oh, Graham will never shut up doing this thing that I introduced him to do.
Exactly. We watched Breaking Away, which is set right here in Bloomington, Indiana. That movie, it's a lot more fun to watch. It's a better movie when I watch it alone and I'm cleaning the house, I have to say. Because there are long scenes of bicycle racing that you're like, oh yeah, this is a little slow when you're supposed to be making commentary. It runs a little soft. Do we want to discuss dorkdoms, or we just want to should we riff about other dead people? I don't know.
Let's get into the dorkdoms. I have a question for you, Dayna.
Uh-oh.
How many? No, this is not. What the fuck is your problem? No.
Why are you crazy?
Is that too combative? Tell me if it was. People tell me I'm intense and I don't realize it. I'm sorry. On a serious note, like how many like Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yetis do you think, based on obviously you've read a lot or done a lot of research, do you think are actually in existence on the planet today?
I'm thinking probably in the 10,000 range.
10,000. And where are they mostly? They're mostly in
They're mostly in places that are heavily wooded or rural. There's a large concentration of them probably in Asia, probably in areas of Africa. I can hear you. Not Bedford. They just look like Sasquatch.
Well played. Nice work.
So, how many do you think are in North America? Because there's a lot of basically.
Listen, we haven't found any yet. I don't really. I think that
have they found some in Asia?
That's my problem with the number of 10,000 because it seems to me there's 3 and we just can't fucking find them.
No, they're pretty highly evolved. See, I think they are.
Wait, what's the history of Sasquatch? Okay.
They started out as great apes.
They started out as great apes.
There was a mutation that kept getting passed down, and the larger ones...
What year are we talking about?
75? 76?
No, is this 1800s when they first started coming out?
Oh, a little earlier than that.
Oh, 1700s maybe?
Somewhere in
People said, okay, the great apes, when pre-evolution, before Darwin even said, what's happening here, they were like, oh, there are giant apes who can have thumbs.
So this was during the French Revolution.
I don't know that much about history.
Neither does the audience, because that got no laugh.
I didn't come on here to discuss my history dork.
Your history dorkdom. So 1700s. Now where did you read this? What book? What are there are many books, no doubt, and probably a monthly magazine. But what exactly, what publications can people go to? What can I put in the notes? I like the notes. Anyway.
There are lots of things, Jackie, that you can watch on the Discovery Channel and on the History Channel. There are things on the internet. You have to
right, because people got cameras now. Yep.
Yeah. Well, okay. So back then when people would write about them, they thought that they were some sort of like a demon presence. And so they would write about them as this large, dark, kind of, blurry figure with red eyes that, was always found eating goats and children and that sort of thing.
Okay. They were blurry back then, too.
Right?
Right.
They're shuffling so fast.
Time-space continuum. Anyway, so, okay, so that's how it was initially. Now there are many programs available on, let's say, TLC and the Discovery Channel and
there's lots
Spike.
of bloggers of people that follow them. And
what's a good one? What's a good one?
I don't know what.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess we just got to Google Sasquatch. We'll put them in the notes. You email me.
But there are people that try to follow them now, but you have to
like storm chasers. Yeah.
But you have to kind of be. It sounds so crazy when I say it out loud. Okay, you have to be kind of discerning in who you follow. Like you can't watch that show on Animal Planet with Bobo and all those jerks.
Okay.
Those people talk constantly. Why is a Sasquatch going to come anywhere near them? They
Okay.
never shut up, and they always have lights on their head.
Right.
What? Nothing
Fair
is
enough.
going to come over there.
No, right. And I think that this is where we're getting into it. This is where the validity comes in, because there are things I know I like to have if you have something that you enjoy, but there are still fringe people that you're like, well, that person's insane. And that's my favorite thing about a dorkdom. It's like, it's like people, I had a salsa dork on. She was like, I don't go as often as I used to go. And I was like, so you only go like, once or twice a week? And she's like, no, I go 4 times a week. And I was like, no, that's still a lot of salsa.
Yeah.
And,
I thought you meant like salt.
but she was like, yeah, but there's crazy people who go 7 nights a week. And that's where the line is drawn, right? That's where,
Exactly.
So, right. So for you, there are people looking for Sasquatch with night goggles.
Yes.
All right, that's the way to go. That's the way to look for them.
Here's my thing. Is and I want to believe that they exist. I really do. Ever since I was a kid.
You can if you want.
But the problem I keep having is in this day and age of all this technology and everything like that, and maybe that's the arrogance of the technology that I'm buying into. Everyone keeps saying, like, a couple of years ago, they're like, we have evidence, we got him. It's like, wouldn't someone just fucking catch one?
You're talking about the guys with the ice chest?
Yeah, like those lunatics. But how hard would it be to catch one of these? It's like, they're highly
super
evolved
fast.
human beings we can catch.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the thing, is that I think they're in forests so dense that we're not even going there. I think they're out there living where we're not.
Okay.
So, you've seen all the new, what was it called? Blue Planet or something, where they're like, we've gone into caves you've never been into or whatever.
Sure.
I think if somehow we could get those guys out there, maybe we would find
And the way that there's like when James Cameron did that underwater thing and found sea creatures we'd never seen.
Exactly.
So you think it's like, okay,
yes.
well, not bad.
And if someone did capture one, and that seems rude, doesn't it? Because you're just like, well, why can't we just let them? That's just my thing about. It is what we do. It's like somebody asked me if I wanted to swim with whale sharks, and I'm like, it's like when I saw Bill Murray eating lunch. Why don't we leave them alone? They're busy, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
don't
the whale
know if I would
sharks.
be happy or sad.
Bill Murray is the whale shark
Of humanity. Well, like people are like, did you go and hug a koala? Like people want to go, they want to pet a wild animal, and you're like, nope, I don't want to swim with dolphins. I want them to be able to live their lives.
Right.
Right? I mean, Sasquatch should be allowed to live their lives, right? But if they are they evolved enough to talk?
No. I don't think they're like humanoid, like magical creatures.
Wait, are we magical because we talk? What's happening?
Some of us are magical.
It's true, we are magical. What would you want if you met a Sasquatch? Just to be able to say,
I don't think I would want to meet one. I think it would kill me.
Well, what if
I would want to be like, yes, I was right. Screw all of you guys.
Fair enough. All right.
But I don't think I would want to be in the same.
Maybe that's what everybody thinks before they're eaten by a Sasquatch. Like, I found it, and then they're dead.
Well, I hope that Bobo finds one.
Like, what are they eating? Like, what?
Boom.
Screw that guy.
Throw down.
I feel like you tweeted him a lot.
I just got a Twitter like a month ago for another festival I was doing that was supposed to have like an account
That shall remain
Yeah.
nameless.
So like 90% of my tweets are Limestone says tweets because I have like 4 followers and I don't do anything.
Well, you got 5 after this panel.
Boom.
Gotcha, boo.
Oh,
What is
you
it?
mean
Is it
Jackie?
Dayna Thompson?
I'm just going to follow you.
That's it. Al Jackson will follow. So I will follow. Okay, so
I'm going to follow you right now.
are you gonna do it now?
I
So
am,
what's happening?
I am following Graham.
All
I
right.
think.
I turned my phone off like a professional, but have at it, Graham. Comics on the
For
panel
those
are
of you that
doing.
cannot see
Hold on,
what's
I
happening,
gotta take this.
Graham.
What are you guys doing? Let's try to give someone an
What?
on-air plug. It's never a bad time to market.
Always
I sell
marketing.
fucking merch at a funeral, so I don't. I think the dearly beloved would like to palm strike his way into heaven, folks.
Just walks up to the casket and ties on a bandana.
Yeah, it's fucking palm strike bandana. He'll be so much happier in heaven. And going to GrahamElwood.com.
Right, Graham. And is it
Strike your way through the
aljackson.com?
gate.
It was aljacksonlive.com. Somebody
Live.
squatted on Al Jackson, and when my debit card got stolen, I lost it. So now it turned into a weird rogue Chinese site. So If you go to,
But your full
you'll see
name-
what I mean when you go to Al Jackson Comedy. Go to Al Jackson Live. Al Jackson, like, I guess, I don't know, they just get people's names and they just squat on it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so
Do
like
they
my
Sasquatch on it?
they squat on it, yes.
Huh? Come on,
The
right?
Asians took it just like they took our Bigfoots. And therefore, I have to be Al Jackson Live because of the Asian Sasquatch.
What we are is we're
never gonna
blaming
air.
China again. Chinese interference. So wait, Al Jackson.
Chinese interference.
Chinese.
That's like something you look around and whisper at a bar before, like, you say it. You're just
Chinese.
like, there's been some
That Chinese guy is
interference here.
cock blocking me.
That's like Yao Ming. That was the rule that the NBA wrote. Chinese interference. Wave off the basket.
I interrupted you, Alan. I feel bad.
I have no idea what I was saying.
It was all about your website and how great it is.
Oh yeah,
Al Jackson Live.
See, it's weird. That's what I like, because we were talking about, people being injected into bullets and people squatting on websites. I don't understand unemployment, because there's a job for everybody. Somebody's putting a dead body into a shotgun casing right now.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not have a job? Figure it out. This guy did.
Right. If you don't have a job, you can make up a job. You should
make
be
up
able
a
to.
job.
Yeah,
That's
put
what
night
Los
vision
Angeles.
goggles on and run around the forest saying we're chasing goddamn.
You'll get
Sasquatch.
12 guaranteed episodes if you do that.
No,
Like,
locked in.
True.
that's
Just be
mailbox
a
money.
A wingnut family that does some bizarre profession. History Channel will fucking lock you down in a multi-million-dollar contract because
I'm doing it.
Doing it.
Doing it.
Dude,
I'm out of here. Quitting both
you,
my
Dayna,
jobs.
Jared, Max, chasing Sasquatch out of a comedy club in Bloomington. If that's not a goddamn reality show, I don't know what is.
First, it's a web series. I'm going to need a sizzle reel.
Yeah.
And so would you
can all guess.
So you don't ever you want others to find Sasquatch and
Yes.
then you will
and
look
prove
at
me right and study it and tell me about it without me in the room.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Sasquatch has been, like, violent, is capable of, like, killing and harming
Yeah,
humans?
I mean, I think it's a giant wild animal. That's like saying, is a lion violent?
But I mean,
you know what I
but
mean?
here's my question, though. Since we
It has
there's been
to eat.
plenty
I
of
think it will
documented
eat whatever's
lion
there.
attacks,
Yeah.
bear attacks. How come we've had no documented? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a documented Sasquatch on human attack.
How do you know that those bear attacks weren't Sasquatch?
Cover up.
Or
This gets into
gorilla
my
attacks.
wheelhouse. I love a good conspiracy.
Or the gorilla attacks. Well, I mean, I think people just didn't always know how to describe them. When you see something, you describe it by the knowledge that you already have. If you don't know what a Sasquatch is, if you've never seen that before, you're going to say whatever the hell it looks like to you. Right?
I love that you describe things by whatever you have your own perspective. You're telling yourself a story, and the story you're telling is that it was a bear when it was clearly a Sasquatch.
Listen, Jackie, I have to use my master's in counseling for something. So it might as well be Sasquatch explanation.
Dayna is overeducated. She is. It's
I'm
beautiful.
overeducated for this. The Sasquatch theorizing.
Right.
No, you're overeducated for this show. You can say it. It's okay.
You should just refer to us as you people for the rest of the show. I'll still come on with you people and play around with your notions.
You
I'm
see
not
a
going to see Pete Holmes till 10 o'clock, so I've got time.
You see Sasquatch and you go, oh, it must be a bear. My brain's so dumb and little.
Is there an app? That's what I want to know. Is there a Discover an app, a Sasquatch app?
I don't know. I'm
Because there's a
gonna
ghost
look it
app.
up.
I will look it up.
There's a what? There's a what app?
There's a ghost app. It's called
yeah,
Ghost
yeah, I've
Radar,
seen
and
that.
it's 99 cents, and it'll tell you if there's a ghost. There was a previous episode. Right. So clearly it works.
Yeah.
And Karen Rontowski, previous episode of the Dork Forest, she asked me, she said, would you mind if I turn on the Ghost Radar? I know you're scared of ghosts, which is what I told her. Because I didn't want to talk about ghosts. I'll talk about ghosts for a while, but there's a certain point where you can't talk about ghosts anymore, right? And so I said, yes, you could turn the ghost app on in my house. And she's like, well, then we'll find out that if there's a ghost in your house. And I was like, I'm going to bet you there's a ghost in my house according to the Ghost Radar app for 99 cents from iTunes. And so it came to pass. She turned it on and there's like a boop. It's like a radar kind of thing, right? All of a sudden, right behind Jen Kirkman. And then it says red. And she goes, "Oh my God, I have a red sweater in my car." Jen Kirkman said that. Because she's nothing if not supportive. She also believes a lot in ghosts. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Do you believe in aliens? Only Sasquatch?
I don't really have an opinion on aliens. I don't really know anything about that.
What do you know about Sasquatch?
More than Bobo.
Yes, you know enough not to wear a light bulb on your head because Sasquatches aren't coming near you. Right. All right.
I think everybody is at peace with the idea that there are aliens. I think everybody, we all, don't you think? There has to be. There has to be.
As a group?
There has to be something. It might not look like us, but there's got to be.
Like intelligent beings.
That was the same. That was like the clap that almost got started in at the black PTA meeting. Like, these teachers aren't doing enough for our kids. That's right. And then one person doesn't clap, and you're like, fuck it. Just trying to start something in here.
There's a Texas Bigfoot mobile field guide app.
Are you going to download it?
Oh, there you go.
So they're just in Texas? Everything's bigger in Texas. Ain't no Chinaman Bigfoot. Ours is bigger.
Chinaman.
Grandma's embraced the term Chinaman.
It's my favorite because it's so like 1950s racism. Just like, there's Italians, Chinamen, and colored guys, right? That's the planet. What?
Did I say something? What?
Those guys like, no, he's from Vietnam. That's what I said, Chinaman. Thank you.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Thanks,
That's
my
good.
dad's side of the family. You know.
So there is an app. So, but it's a Texas one.
It's the Texas one. Why?
It's a Texas Bigfoot app.
Well, there's a bunch of Sasquatch things, but they're like video games or other.
Ooh, have you ever played
Legend Tracker?
I haven't ever played a Sasquatch video game. That sounds exciting.
Bigfoot news and sightings. Wait a minute. That's 99 cents. A little much for me.
A little too rich for your blood.
Let me get some more info on that.
Download it, Graham. I'll give you $1.
Well,
You just made a penny.
Just made a
Bigfoot News and Sightings is the app for the serious Bigfoot hunter and anyone interested in the mysterious creature known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch. This app has Bigfoot news, updates from all around the world, and, as it happens, wow, this is long, multiple Bigfoot news and stories feeds will keep you up to date and the Bigfoot search. Right.
And the Bigfoot search?
That's not
All
my
right.
grammar.
I'm not downloading that.
Yeah, it's 99 cents. Get a goddamn fucking book. Find out everything there is to know about Bigfoot with this app and judge for yourself whether or not he exists. Oh, I guess there's no female. Wow. Sexist. Wow. How do they procreate, huh? Just
well,
Bigfoot gay
we were
bars?
discussing this before. Is if they did catch a Sasquatch, obviously someone immediately would have sex with it, right?
That's the Josh Cox.
In Texas, they would in Texas. They would quick, fuck it.
And burn
See
it
if you
down
can-
and sell it as somebody's ashes and bullets.
Possibly.
Shoot his Bigfoot ashes in the goddamn air.
Somebody fucking. I feel like that Texas app is like, that's just one of the things that's going to be when Texas finally secedes from the Union.
Yeah.
Like, that's just going to be one more piece of evidence, and another reason you guys should leave. Can we admit that Texas stinks? Sorry, I hate that place.
Texas is actually going in a jackification direction this year. I gotta support Texas. I've been all over Texas this year. So, Al Jackson, what would you want to hold forth on any new dorkdom you got rocking?
This is weird because my wife confronted me about this because I didn't realize, because we were sitting in the green room like, what am I dorking out about? I know we talked about hip hop the last time I was here, and I realized like I am a strangely weird, huge basketball fan, but not in the like I cheer for my team and like I don't care. I'm from Cleveland. My team's terrible. It's not about like I watch like videos of people breaking down footage, and I watch like
you're on the team and you're like you
almost
see a guy.
more like the coaching perspective. Like there's something called sabermetrics where these like all these Harvard, and they self-describe like Harvard dorks, like took their mathematics degrees and found a way to break down the game and break down players. Especially defensively, because people don't care about defense in basketball. They're just like, oh, you score points, but it's like defense is important, but it's hard to measure in basketball because how do you know? So there's like, I'm sorry, I'm losing everybody. I don't care.
Well, no,
I don't.
It's a very weird thing, but
I think that is the silence of listening and
Yes,
Am I
that's what
correct?
that is.
It's such a weird thing, but are you a Hoops fan? Like, it's a weird thing. Like, I listen to a ton of, I probably listen to 2 podcasts a day and at least like a couple video of people just breaking down statistics about basketball. It's the worst. It's like how I go to sleep at night. I listen to it in the shower on the road. Like, I'll figure out that the Pacers are better when Roy Hibbert's on the floor. Like, there's like a ton of things that I'm just so intrigued, and it's constantly changing. And it's like, it's really just mathematics, and the players are just more like, you don't know, depending on who you sign or you cut and who works with this guy. And if you trade for this guy, do you need to get rid of this guy? Because it's like it's a never ending.
Well, I didn't know, like, because I know that the statistics, it's mostly baseball, right? Traditionally, that's been the big stat game, right?
But every sport now has become
really
a haven for statistics. And I think if you're any sort of sports fan, everybody likes that's. I think that's part of the dorkdom of being any type of sport fan is whatever sport it is like, well, you know, they're better on the road when it's raining. Yeah. You know, like everybody.
There is something.
Everybody gets into that.
It's a weird thing. Yeah, you can calculate how human beings react almost. Like, even though you think that they react randomly, and like sometimes a team will win. But there's a thing, like sometimes after a 4-game road trip, this team has never won a game after being on the road 3 straight. Like, that's not a mistake. Like, there's something
they're
happening.
Tired.
Yeah, they're physically tired.
Yeah.
They were, and like they do have stats of like, teams winning percentages on a Sunday in Miami because they go out and get hammered on Saturday night. And like, it's like a home court advantage. Like, people go and get hammered and they get laid and then they can't play the next day. Like, it's a real thing. Like, it's a stat, so.
Wow. And is there, you know what, now that leads, because there's fantasy baseball, there's fantasy football. Is there fantasy basketball?
Yes, and I tried it and it's the worst thing that's ever happened. Trying to play fantasy basketball is like having a part-time job. Like, it's like, you have to change your lineup every day. I'm like, I have children. I can't do this. Like, there's a lot of shit to do. So I don't really go that route, but it's like, I'm a huge, I do fantasy football, but that's once a week, so I can handle that.
Okay, because there's more basketball games in a team?
82 basketball games and then like 30-some playoff games, 30, so.
And how many football games are there a year?
16.
And how many baseball games are there a year?
162.
So those people who do fantasy...
Rain Man on the end.
Yeah, I think... Graham might have other issues. So the people who play fantasy baseball, do they have to do that every week?
No, I think those are actually two separate things.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like two. I think fantasy baseball, like, you can bet money on that, and it's like competitive. Like, we could all have our own fantasy team and play against each other. But like, when you're kind of into just stats and stuff, it's just more of like I just kind of,
it's just a lovely spreadsheet in your mind.
It really is. Like, I like that. I like that, and I like to pretend I was a coach because I sucked as a player. So I had to, I feel like I'm a step.
You would have went on staff.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, let me ask you this then. Now, during the playoffs, have there been any, like, statistically, did you think that these would be the 2 teams in the finals and that kind of stuff?
They were leaning more towards the Pacers, making it because they were such a good defensive team. But you saw at the end of the first game the Pacers and the Heat played, their coach made a huge mistake, and he took their best defensive player out and gave LeBron James a layup, which you never give up with 1 second on the basket. Like, it's hard to make a layup with 1 second by yourself shooting around, much less like with 5 other players. But his coach fucked up. Defensively, his coach admitted it, and they lost the series by 1 game. So it's like, and hence the Pacers aren't there. So
no statistics on fuckheadery.
Yep. Yeah. He's somewhere in a bathtub drinking a bottle of Jack. Like, why did I take him out? Why did I take him out?
Wow. I'm always surprised whenever there's a sports dork on. I'm out of my depth because I can't. I don't watch sports. I mean, I'm happy for you, but the thing is especially basketball. It moves so fast. And there's hundreds and hundreds of points are scored. Why not just watch the last 3 minutes? Is what I tend to think. It's not as
there's a pissed off girlfriend. Like, I've been right, ladies. Let's clap it up.
Bitches, man, we don't get it. Anyway, no, there are plenty of women who really enjoy. I mean, Erin K. Foley, lady, she's a gay lady, so there's that. But that's
slur number 6.
And that's her joke. Sometimes stereotypes are true. Anyway, that's her joke. Okay, so
stereotypes aren't true; they go away. To some
When they
extent.
aren't? Oh, when they are not true?
When they're not true. If you started a
Right.
stereotype that, I don't know, Asians are terrible in math, that would go away. They're
Yep.
awesome. I went to
Chinaman.
Chinaman, excuse me.
Thank you.
I will tell you, I was pre-med in college and in grad school, and when I would go study, especially when I was studying for the MCAT, like, you know, I would sit down and study for like 6 to 8 hours a day. And this might sound racist, but it was true. I would find like an Asian woman studying, and I'd be like, I'm not getting up until she gets up. They don't move.
That's one of those things.
They don't ever get up.
I mean, they don't answer their phone, they don't pee, they don't eat Doritos, they just read, and then they destroy you on the test. That's what happens.
Well, that's one of those things, like, and Chris Rock talked about this, and I even think Dr. Ken Jeong did this in his act. He's like, that's not a bad, I don't have a problem with that stereotype. Everyone's like, Graham, you Irish, you always get things done. And be like, stop it. And it says, like, Graham's Irish, so he's a drunken fuckhead.
And then
Now you know why I don't drink. Anyway. Oh, that bummed everyone out. Okay, cool.
I just like the term drunken fuckhead. I'm like, I've never said that, but I'm going to start. That's the greatest.
Go to Boston or Chicago on St. Patty's Day. You'll be like, oh.
I get it. Yeah. Because the what I've been thinking about stereotypes is that because my dad's Armenian and my mom was Irish, and
So what's the joke?
oh yeah, I'm gonna sell you a rug and then drink at it. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know, but the weirdest, the true stereotype in those cases was that I was raised by two people who were optimistic in the face of fact.
How great is that?
They were like,
Wow.
They were super optimistic, and we were eating Spam and powdered milk. And you're like, why would you be so fucking cheerful every day? They're like, it's all gonna work out. And you're like, and you know what? It did. Yeah. So, good for them.
What it's
That's
gonna
what
take.
magic carpets and whiskey do.
Oh, I think we got our soundbite.
That's what it's going to take to find.
Oh, that's awesome.
Your parents were just always like your whole
My
life?
father, before every meal, every day's a holiday, every meal's a feast. A day with Elliot's not a bad day.
Damn.
Every meal, clearly incorrect. Clearly, as he slept around, as he gambled away all of our money, as my mother wouldn't let us use the Yahtzee paper. I mean, it's just terrible life choices, being made right and left. And you're like, nah, it's all going to work out. Is it? And yes, it turns out. So good for them.
Wow. All right, I want to meet can I meet your dad?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's
Sounds
around.
like going out and partying with your dad would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think you do have to have, especially for guys. I was talking about this with my friend. I think you have to have the one guy in your group, and I'm not him. I'll go out and hang out and drink all night, but you need a guy that's like, he's irrationally confident about like where you got, because there's a group of dudes. Nobody wants you there because you're a dude and no one cares. You need to have some girls with you to get in anywhere. But you need a guy that's just like, I'm gonna go talk to the bouncer, dude. You need that guy that's like, dude, we're fine. It's like, we have no money. We're good. But don't worry about it. Like, you need that to have a great night.
My dad, Elliot Kashian, hits on women. He is 76 years old. He has like a string of polo pony ladies that he has no money. No. He got some lady to buy him a sweater a couple of years ago.
I love this guy.
He's like, and it's what's taken over like his sort of sales technique. He hits on these women, and like he said, yeah, I was at the Boston store, and I go up to this woman, very nice woman, early 30s, my cutoff, and
Every daughter should know her dad's cut off
yeah,
when he's chasing pussy. Every girl, that's what keeps a family together.
yeah. Maria wrote the greatest joke that I've never done, which is something about and I said this to my dad once. I said, "Wow, I'm officially too old for you ever to molest."
Why are you not doing that joke?
I don't know. I don't know.
Every night. That's the name of your next album.
And I told him that joke, and he laughed and laughed because he hit on Maria at our wedding.
Did he really?
Yeah, because it's his favorite kind of. He loves a tiny blonde lady in her 30s.
Boy,
and
that's a sitcom, Elliot and the Bammer.
She said it was pretty good. It was very.
Wait, I'm sorry. They had sex? Is that what?
No. Oh my God. She said the way
Jackie, your dad's kind of good in bed.
That's horrifying from every angle.
She did it in her mom voice, though. And he just fired away.
Honey.
Like a freight train. At his age.
I didn't think he had it in
I
him.
made noises I didn't know were there.
Well, I may never sleep again. Oh my God. Yes. So when... Wow, those Dirty Harry movies are good though, right?
They are so great. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. You want me to legitimately answer that? Yes. I was on your show, and I'm a '70s cop show nerd, obviously, or dark. Howard,
right.
Thank you. Sorry, wrong thing, wrong show.
You can say nerd. You can say geek.
Yeah, geek is bullshit.
Live it up.
And so
Aficionado.
Yeah, thank you. That came the '70s. When I was a kid and watching those cop shows, and then it was really and Dirty Harry, and obviously, Dirty Harry was caught in between the sort of ridiculous theatrics of the TV show, but wanting to be gritty and real, like the Serpicos and the
Barney Miller.
Yeah, Barney Miller. Yes, Ava Goda, so street and gritty.
Jack Sue
making the bad coffee. Oh, in that hippie police precinct in Greenwich Village, very believable.
Ron Silver bringing it.
Ron Silver, great. And I forget the actor's name who played the old Luger, and be like, Brownie and Clyder. What's that actor's name?
The inspector. I don't know.
Luger.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dang it.
Luger. Yeah. That's the greatest name ever.
It is. He was named after a gun that the Germans used.
That's right.
So, Dirty Harry was was awesome because it definitely had that, the civil libertarians are ruining everything,
right.
He'd be, and he gave that crazy speech, in Dirty Harry's the original one. Then there's Magnum Force or Sudden Impact.
Which one was the bus?
The bus is Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry is
Speed 2?
Is actually Speed 2.
Yeah.
That was a boat.
There's a bum on this
right,
bus. And he the great thing of the thing if you watch the movie Zodiac, you see that the Dirty Harry movie basically this was the guy was called the Scorpio Killer. And it was basically the Zodiac killer that the San Francisco Police Department could never catch. And there's a great scene in Zodiac where Mark Ruffalo, who plays the detective, is at that screening, and someone comes out and hey, looks like they got your Zodiac. He's like, yeah, it's great. No due process, no fucking nothing. They just fucking judge, jury, and executioner. And he's just livid at what that movie says, because that's what Dirty Harry just kills that guy. And it also, they do a lot in those movies about, these new laws, you can't take care of business the way you used to be able to, it's just there's so much of that. And in one of them, he's teamed up with a young Tyne Daly, and she's...
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and he doesn't like or respect her, and she's got...
Right, she's some sort of feminist.
Yeah.
It's crazy talk.
Yeah.
And isn't every
but in
partner
the end,
he has...
She dies, she takes a bullet
Yes.
saving Callahan, and that's when she earns his respect.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, you want to get your man's respect? Take a fucking round right in the goddamn bean, and maybe I'll let you take that apron off, all right?
Right, isn't every partner he has just dies?
They're all dead. They're all dead. If you are partnered with Callahan, you are fucking doomed. That is worse than a red shirt on Star Trek. You are out.
Right, isn't the first one, he had a black partner, and they were like, thank God the black guy gets killed. Somebody said that. That was in one of the reviews. They were like, it was...
offended
no?
everyone on this show.
No,
that
I
was
think...
that was the
third one?
Women.
In Dirty Harry, I believe he had a one of his partners was. Now I'm mixing up all the which of the movies were, but one of the partners was Mitchum's. Why am I blanking on?
Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum's brother plays, and he's got an Italian last name, and of course, in those movies, Dirty Harry's like, "Come on, you wop!" Ha 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 ha. It's just like, we're gonna go shoot some Chinamen. Let's do it.
It's seriously like just one racist, sexist, horrible comment after another.
It's crazy, but then they took a lot of. It's funny. Those movies took a lot of flack for Dirty Harry. Just there's a scene where he in Dirty Harry where he catches the Scorpio killer and locks him up, and then he comes into the chief's office, and the chief's like, we had to let him. So where are we at with Scorpio? Is he being processed? He's like, we had to let him go. What? We had evidence, which you illegally obtained. Like, you've never heard of due process? You've never heard of the Miranda law? And he's like, jam those up your hole, And so they took some heat for that. So then in one of them, I believe it's, I think it's Magnum Force anyway, where there is a secret group of cops who are fed up with guys getting off, and they're going out killing people, and Hal Holbrook is in charge of that, and he's great, because he's just like, look, Callahan, he's this shifty dude.
Yeah.
And so that's where that was sort of how they made amends to, liberals, was by going, see, now here's Dirty Harry's going to stop the guys that are really crazy.
Because Dirty Harry's not crazy. These guys have a cabal.
Yeah.
And they've organized.
Yeah. And
He's just
there's a lot of
alone.
interesting stuff in there.
He's a loose cannon, Callahan.
Oh, he's wound too tight. He's in too deep. He turns his. I think he quits the force 58 times throughout those movies. So I've had enough. Throws his badge. I'm out. That always happens. And then after a couple of those movies, I think it was that third one, Magnum Force or whatever. The third one, yes, the third one. He had gotten all of these fan letters from Asian women. They loved Clint Eastwood, but specifically the Dirty Harry character for whatever reason. So there's a scene where he's living in a little shitty studio apartment or whatever, and it's the 70s. So this very cute Asian woman comes up and goes, "Hey, what's a girl got to do to get it on with you?" And he goes,
"Good writing."
He goes, "Knock on my door," and then he goes up to his apartment, puts on a record like LP, takes his slacks off or whatever, still keeps his gun on, I'm sure. And then she just walks into his apartment.
He's wearing his tidy whities and a shoulder holster.
Yeah, it's awesome. The short film I did, Hello Junkie, which is my character, Kent Stryker. If you go back and watch, we pulled so many things from there. There's a rubber chicken hanging on the wall in the chief's office in one of the Dirty Harry movies. And we were watching it going, why the fuck is there a rubber chicken on the goddamn wall? So we put that on the wall in the chief's office in that movie. But then then periodically throughout the movie, he'll just be riding a motorcycle and the Asian girl's on back, and it's just like, oh, so he's just hooked up with this Asian girl. But that was almost, I don't know, a tip of the hat to all the Asian lady fans. Yeah, lady.
This could be you.
Yeah, you got a shot. You're about to get Magnum Forced.
With consent.
Yeah. And as he's about to thrust in, he's like, did I shoot 5 or only 6? That got the moan. All the shit that's been said tonight, that got the moan.
That'll happen. Wow.
Yeah, I went on a crazy nerd time.
No, that's good. That's I like a nice nerd rant. I'm pro that.
Way too
It was
knowledgeable about
not.
that.
You were mentioning the statistics. There was a website or there was some. What are the podcasts that you're listening to? You said that there was a branch of statistician that you could do for this NBA thing.
I listened to a couple of them. One is called True Hoop TV, and they break down a lot. And one of them is the Basketball Jones, which those guys are great. Yes, those guys are really good. And Bill Simmons and Grantland, they got a lot of guys that write really great articles as well. So that's where you should check out if you're a hoops junkie, and then tweet me because I'm talking hoops all the time.
And your Twitter handle is weird. So
it's weird. My boy said it's spelled like an old Mortal Kombat character. Because there's an Al Jackson and he's never tweeted, but he's got my name. He's never sent a tweet or done it. So I'm Al Jackson, AL Jaxn. Sorry, that's it.
Or like
Fuck
Jax.
off.
That's what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
Jackson. Yes,
Nice.
that's it.
That's a Mortal Kombat moment.
That is.
I don't mind
trying
that.
to insult you when he said that, or was he trying to say like that's awesome?
No,
I think that's awesome.
it was a definite insult. It was coming from a comic. But here's a little
would
dork
be-
moment really quickly. I moved high schools and I met this kid my first day. Seemed like a nice, normal kid. I didn't know his parents were super rich. This is in the mid-'90s. And we go over his house, and in his basement, he had the stand-up Street Fighter 2 game. He had that in the night. Like, think about, you're nodding your head because you understand what that meant. I could not wrap my head around that. I was like, is this being delivered somewhere? Like, why do you have the greatest thing that I've ever seen in your house, and you could just play it? It was literally 10 hours a day for the summer. Like, that was just, you don't understand how big that was, but it was everything. Street Fighter 2.
It was a good one. I never played the Street Fighter series. I did the 5-button configuration on Mortal Kombat 3 and then Ultimate.
Okay.
The Street Fighter had a 6-button configuration, so I could never get the special moves down, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the special moves on the Street Fighter? What was your character?
I used to play with the Chinaman. I played with E Honda. He was the best. He was a big sumo guy, and he was slow as shit. But if you got somebody in the corner, it was over. So I was really like a guy at a bar. I was just trying to get you into a corner. That's just like, once I got you, Ray, if you can jump, I'm done. But if I can hold you down, I can hit you a couple times. I always gravitated towards the cool. I kind of always knew I was going to lose, so I just picked the cool characters.
Yeah.
There was do you remember the Indian guy whose arm just went across the screen?
Yeah.
Is it Dalslim or Dalslim? Daoism, yeah. He was weak as shit, but he was so much fun to look at. So I'd be like, I'll be him. Let's just make the match last as long as possible. I just want to see him kick.
Right, because his foot would stretch across the screen.
It did no damage. It actually made you feel better when it kicked you.
Like your levels went up when you got thank you.
It was like a little chamomile tea every time he punched you. It was the worst character. You could not win with him.
It was acupuncture. Yeah, in Mortal Kombat, I played a lot of Katana. She was the China lady. She was the China lady. Yeah, and then I like Nighthawk, too, because he had the never-ending arrows. He was an Indian guy, but he was American Indian. Native American, that guy. Yeah,
They
super
made the
cool.
distinction.
He had the tomahawk. And super fun. All right. And I've decided if I ever get a tattoo, if I would have gotten a tattoo, I would have gotten a tattoo in 1993, and it would have been Nighthawk on my shin, and then I would be the gayest lady you've ever met in your life. Because that is the
Your
butchest.
husband would have to leave you.
He would have to leave me.
Enjoy your WNBA season tickets. Thank you.
Your complimentary flannel is waiting on your chair.
My sister has WNBA season tickets. She's a gay lady.
I've been to WNBA games because one of my nieces plays basketball, and I took her to a game.
Yeah.
It was me. So
Yeah.
that's okay.
And the thing is everybody who slams the WNBA, you couldn't win a game against them, so
You
shut
know
the
what?
fuck up.
The WNBA is actually awesome because women play the most fundamental basketball you're ever going to see.
What are the stats on that?
And that's
I
why
wonder.
people come out to see fundamentals.
That's what they want to see. But honestly, no, I think if you're a purist, I actually like to see that.
Yeah.
I do too.
You know,
I was watching a WNBA game before I came here. That's how much of a junkie I was.
Oh
Because I wanted to see the Brittany Griner girl play, but she was hurt today.
Oh.
girl that can
But
just slam dunk.
she can dunk.
Yeah.
I feel like no one's talking about it. There's a girl dunking in the game. It's awesome.
constantly. It's not like Lisa Leslie did it like once.
And it was like a mom dunk.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't it was like kind of, she put some things together and her hand hit the rim. Like, this girl is dunking
girl's
with
like,
two
boom,
hands. Yes.
and
like,
hanging over
Yeah.
people like, suck it. She's on top of her shit, man.
She's the best. Yes. Maybe she's going to lead the WNBA into the next phase where I think that as simplistic as it seems, I think some people just want to see dunks. And if more
Right.
girls dunk, I think guys will watch.
Well, now everybody takes steroids, right? Do the lady athletes take steroids?
I think the track ones do.
The check, yeah.
I think in track you just have to.
Okay.
I think you have to do it.
Well, I think football players do. I mean, nobody's genuinely bears. They're all Sasquatch sized.
No,
Right? Nobody
So
ever.
Sasquatch is on roids. Is that what you're saying? You're making-
Pretty sure that Sasquatch is
Yeti
harvesting.
juices?
The Yeti does. I
Hey,
think
that's what we're gonna do with
That's probably use their blood to bring people
Yeti
back
growth
to life in
hormones
Star
and
Trek.
Yes.
Such bullshit.
It's yeah, but I digress. Sorry.
That was like fucking Superman flying around the goddamn planet and Superman 2. Just, rewind. Lois is good. Quake over. All a bad dream, kitty cat. You're out of that crazy car that was in the gravel pit. And I'm pretty sure Superman never called Lois Lane kitty cat. I'm throwing that in there.
Wasn't Pete Holmes on your podcast last night?
Yes.
On the Comedy Film Nerds,
Yeah,
and he had some sort of problem with Superman, didn't he? Or
Batman. Yeah, he had a problem with
Batman.
Batman.
We had a huge problem with Batman. We had to.
oh, there was a Batman moment, but wasn't there a kryptonite?
Yeah, he thinks kryptonite is a complete bullshit story plot device. Like the way it always in all the Superman movies, he's always like everything's great, Superman's kicking ass, and then bling. You know. So he's like actually happy because he heard that in the new Man of Steel that
They killed it, right? No kryptonite.
no kryptonite.
No, yeah.
In this particular episode, which is good. I God dang it, I had something. It was going to be great.
I'm sorry.
Nothing. I lost it.
I ripped it away from your brain.
Oh no. Oh no. But I like that we only have a couple minutes left, I guess. And so I'm supposed to, Graham, why don't you plug a couple of things? So for the listeners.
For the listeners, comedyfilmnerds.com is you can get everything from Comedy Film Nerds. We're available on iTunes. Listen to the podcast. Our Twitter handle at Comedy Film Nerds, and then all my tour dates, Twitter, Facebook, and everything is at GrahamElwood.com. Check it out. I will be coming to a city near you.
And you're going to sell some books after the show,
Oh, yeah,
right?
I got some copies of Comedy Film Nerd Guide to Movies. Jackie wrote 2 chapters in it, which is
Cool.
awesome. I believe Chris is here, so you can get all 3 of our signatures if you want. And, we'll be right up back here.
Right.
Partying.
How about you, Al Jackson?
Partying.
You can find me at comedyfilmnerds.com. I wish. Al Jackson, that's my Twitter handle, ALJXN. Al Jackson Live's my website. I'm a writer for Shaq Show, upload on True TV, so watch that Thursday nights at 10 o'clock, and that's about it.
Yay. Dayna, you work here at the Comedy Attic.
I do.
What else would you like to plug?
Well, if anybody's anywhere near here, you should come see us at the Comedy Attic. ComedyAttic.com is our website.
How about a hand for the
Lots and
Comedy
lots
Attic?
of
How
fun
great
How about one of the better clubs in the country?
There's not.
So great.
So, yeah.
Like,
Such a good
there's
idea.
a half a dozen clubs that have a lineup as good as this one.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at their calendar of comedy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun doing it,
That's
too.
the exact
so
number.
We're happy
Half
that you
a
guys
dozen.
have fun when you come here.
It's good. I'm Jackie Kashian, and the Dork Forest, of course, is a lovely thing. Feel free to
It is.
It is a lovely
Jackie with the hard sell. There.
the hard sell. I'll have Dork Forest t-shirts. I think they're behind me. Anyway, Dork, and then you can all get a magnet if I have enough. And I'm going to go do stand-up in an hour and a half. And there's Graham taking selfies again. So,
the whole panel. I'm going to tweet the whole panel.
tweet the panel. Tweet the panel.
Kids.
And, dorkforest.com, JackieKashian.com. And, I am having a blast at the Limestone Festival. So thanks for you guys for coming out and seeing a live Dork Forest.
How about we do it again next year, right? How about that?
Yeah. All for it. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully and drive home safe. Good night.
Good game, right?
And here's where we're putting the credits now. Thanks so much for listening to the show, you guys. Patrick Brady, making this audio go seamless, right? Vilmos, fixing the websites. Mike Rickberg and Sarah Cohen sang at the beginning of the show. Mike Rickberg wrote and composed the Dork Forest theme. And Mike is going to sing in a second the Mexican hat dance. And as always, JackieKashian.com for stand-up and live Dork Forest events. Thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks for listening.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat, my hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?